I have been waiting for this. It is the new generation of the Toyota Tacoma, and today I have the extremely expensive, top-of-the-line TRD Pro. It's so manly. I'm kidding, obviously, but also kind of not, because it actually is very tough looking. But also, what I'm not joking about is just how expensive it is. So let's get into why. Welcome back to the channel. Hi, and welcome back to Sparkplug TV. My name is Chris, and I do car reviews for literally everybody, not just car enthusiasts. Before I begin today's video, as always, please do me the biggest favor ever and like this video, comment something down below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon so that you get notified whenever I drop a new video. 1 second. Which is whenever I can. Thank you so much for your support. Any and all interaction with my videos helps boost my channel. So thank you so much. Now, I have printed out everything that makes this a TRD Pro because I am not a robot and I cannot remember everything off the top of my head. So from the top of this video, we're gonna go ahead and discuss what makes this a TRD Pro because there's a lot to get through. Ready? Here we go. The isodynamic performance front seats, which are air over oil shock absorber systems, allowing for vertical and lateral seat movement to reduce body movement and stabilize the head and the neck. What I can say about these seats is that they elicit absolutely zero leg room in the back seat. I haven't even tried, even if I were to move this up, I don't have leg room then. So, okay. TRD tuned Fox quick switch internal bypass shocks with rear remote reservoirs. Rear only. Okay. TRD performance air intake. Wow. 33-inch Goodyear tires with 18-inch alloy wheels. The tires are not TRD Pro specific because you do get 33-inch all-terrain tires on the Trail Hunter, but the black 18-inch alloy wheels are TRD Pro specific. External Fox internal floating pistons, which I'm pretty sure means the coilover shock absorbers. Stabilizer disconnect mechanism used for better articulation that's compatible with Toyota approved lift kits. I added that in there because I found that to be intriguing. Just like the Broncos of today have this Stabilibar disconnect that gives you better rock climbing capabilities. The new catback dual tip exhaust system, I do understand what that means. It does make this sound a little bit throatier and a lot better sounding for a 4-cylinder. A 20-inch LED light bar, which only is activated when the automatic high beams decide to turn themselves on. ARB steel rear bumper with recovery points. There's also a TRD branded aluminum skid plate. It also comes with LED zone bed lighting, kind of like a little bit of a ripoff from Ford, I'm not gonna lie. This one has 11.5 inches of ground clearance with a 2-inch front lift and a 1.5-inch rear lift. So typically the Tacoma has a 9 to 9.5 inches of ground clearance. Trail Hunter has 11 inches, and this is the highest with an extra little 0.5 added in there. We all know how much 0.5 really adds value. The Tacomas come with 2 different powertrains, either the non-hybrid iForce or this one, which is the hybrid iForce Max. The iForce Max is a turbocharged 2.4-liter inline 4-cylinder engine that is also helped along by a 48 horsepower electric motor, eliciting 326 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque. That's a really impressive number and much more than the V6 from the previous generation. Impressive. It's tethered to an 8-speed automatic transmission and a 4x4 drivetrain. The hybrid version comes in 5 different trim levels starting around $47,000. And this is the top of the line TRD Pro that comes in around $65,000 for 2025, which isn't that much more than it was for 2024. The hybrids only come in the double cab 5-foot bed, but the non-hybrid ones come in the single cab 6-foot box. Yeah, this is probably the one that I would go for. I would probably go for the iForce Max, and I would probably go for the crew cab version, because I would want something that I would be able to haul everybody in. Now, in terms of towing capacities, the Tacoma has a maximum towing capacity of 6,500 pounds, while this one sheds about 500 of those pounds for 6,000. Now, that's actually not that bad, especially for an off-road capable, you know, what is meant to be like totally off-road, you know, ready. Typically, like things like the Raptors or the TRXs of the world, they forego a lot in terms of towing capacity. Meanwhile, this actually doesn't forego a ton. Let's talk about the interior. I like the new generation's interior. I like the way that it's styled. I think it's modern. You know, it's got just enough buttons, you know, albeit, you know, I'll get to the touchscreen in a second, but everything else, you know, the HVAC controls are knobs and buttons. You know, this is a giant truck-like gear selector. One thing I've noticed too is that in the newest iteration, they have forwent the multi-terrain select and the crawl control up on the roof, and instead have allocated it down here in the center console in this really easy to use kind of button system, as well as the 4 high and the 4 low select, and then all of the other buttons down here. Now, it does have an electronically controlled rear locking differential and a 2-speed transfer case. It has an array of buttons over here on the left-hand side. It's a lot more truck-like. You know, I really like this TRD Pro specific steering wheel. The one thing that I don't like is this oversized 14-inch. This is just too big, Toyota. I guess people want a bigger screen, but when it's in Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, it is massive. That's a good sounding engine. For all of its like fancy suspensionry, it actually does really well in kind of like cornering scenarios. Let me hit this corner real quick. Ooh, lot of body roll, but it did it well, and honestly, I didn't feel like I was gonna lose control. That was actually pretty decent. The problems with the, well, first of all, the price is a big problem, right? Almost $65,000 is crazy to me. The other thing is that the off-road tires, it makes it kind of a rough ride. Of course I am in a truck, and of course I am like, you know, in something that's off-road capable. And people that will be buying this knowing full well that this is an off-road capable vehicle. And so they're going to expect, you know, it to be a little bumpy with the tires, but I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of the ride in this. I will say too, like I'm about to get on the highway because I want to show you guys just how windy this thing sounds. Okay, well that's not fair. There's really not a lot of wind noise going on right now. Nope, there it is. Yeah, there it is. Do you see how kind of shaky and like, I would not enjoy this as a daily driver. The final thing that I'll say to the driving ability of it is that there really is a huge difference between the 3 different drive modes. It's got Sport, Eco, and Normal, and Eco uses the hybrid a lot. The Eco portion of it uses the hybrid motor a lot. The Normal, not so much, and then the Sport barely at all, right? So the Sport just really uses the max aspect of it. It uses the hybrid motor in a much different way than the Eco. It uses the extra 48 horsepower almost all the time when you floor it. All right, that's all I've got for today's video. Please do me the biggest favor ever and like this video, comment something down below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon so that you get notified whenever I drop a new video, which is whenever I can. Did I sound like an auctioneer just then? Ostensibly, it is a very cool pickup truck. It's incredibly cool, and I cannot believe I forgot to mention this pop-out JBL speaker that is functional while it's charging in this little port up here. That's so cool. It can tow 6,000 pounds. It looks really cool. I really like the new redesign, even without all of the TRD Pro flair. I really like the way that the new Tacoma looks. I like the headlight situation. I like the back end. It's a modern truck while still tipping its hat to the previous generations. It's a great redesign, especially in the interior. I love the way that it looks. We're not going to talk about her. But, you know, I just don't think that, like, for me Personally, I would go for the standard like SR or like whatever the mid-level trim is. Again, the engine is great. The interior is great. You know, you can really tell the difference between the drive modes. There's too much wind noise. You know, I think like, again, there are going to be people that buy it. And I think this is a cool car. I think you should be able to buy something cool like this. But for me personally, I'm not gonna buy something like this. Anyways, that's all I've got for today's video. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye. Hey Sparks, thanks for watching today's video. Do you want more Sparkplug TV content? Then you can choose one of these 3 options. Right over here. The middle button is to subscribe to my channel, so please do that. Right over here. These 3. I can't see them in real life, but they're right here.